this is going to be our first ever episode of Unpaid Overtime.
The worst kind of overtime.
From station laughs to the heavy days, we shoot the shit in a million ways. Family, politics, stories and fun, anything and everything under the sun. This is unpaid overtime. No overtime pay, but we still grind.
We recorded an episode before, but we had some audio issues, and we were, let's be honest, it just ended up turning into, we were all over the place.
That's an understatement of the year. I actually
went on a bitch session.
Although it was funny for the listener at home, we were getting ready to gear up for this episode. There's this awkward quiet, and I hear Palestine, a brief history. So, oh no, oh boy.
Yeah, so I've been batting around ideas of what we could talk about because let's be honest, we're gonna mass record a couple episodes, and
oh yeah,
I was sitting here like on my other screen was like, that is a valid question. Palestine, what is its actual history? The unabridged woke version is one thing, but then the actual history is a completely other. And so I Googled what is the actual history of Palestine, and I found some interesting articles reading. But anyway, we're already off topic.
That tends to happen. That does tend to happen.
My name is James, and for this first episode, we'll just do quick intros. We may delve deeper as we go. I was a firefighter paramedic in the Cincinnati area for 10 years. Worked at various departments, and now I work in IT and AV communication for the United States Army. Yeah, I'm over the Village Idiots having the megaphone.
Well, my name is Shawn, and first I want to offer my condolences. And it'll make sense why I'm offering my condolences for working with the knuckle draggers. I know that you have to stomp your feet to get them to count past the 5 fingers. So the reason I say that, my name is Shawn. I was in the Air Force. That's right, kids. I actually scored high on my ASVAB. Was in there for 10 years, and now I am a firefighter EMT. Been doing that for 10 years. Oh my God, that's, what was it, almost 30 years between us in public service?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord almighty.
And side note, for those that don't know, I technically was enlisted in the United States Navy, but I never left for boot because I scored that high on ASVAB.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why do you guys want me so bad?
You know, when they take you in a back room and say, hey, we want you to test out for the nuke program. Can you sit and take this? But I don't want to play
no, wait a goddamn minute here. 2 seconds ago, there was a doctor staring up a butthole. And now you're telling me I'm super smart. What's going on here?
I'm confused. He was staring at my butthole while trying to make me duck walk.
Yeah.
He pointed out that I might have a hip problem, but now here I am taking this test.
And something about nuclear fission. This is a wide range of emotions all of a sudden.
And you know what's funny is the only part that got me out of that was the fact that I did not ever take a chemistry class.
Darn.
Shucks.
Feel like I really missed out.
But then they tried to stick me on a submarine, and that's when I really hard-noped.
No, there's nothing good about that.
For this first episode, I want to share my screen. I hope you can hear the audio because I'm going to share my screen because I have been watching this dude's videos since everything in Cincinnati has been popping off over the last week, and this dude is fucking hilarious. I wish everybody support this dude. If he gets his own news channel and we all just listen to him tell the fucking news, I'm in.
I feel like I know who this is going to be.
I will personally give this guy money. I'm going to share the screen right now.
What's going on? It is your boy Hood News 75, and I know I make y'all laugh all the time, but when I get serious and I touch on serious topics, people hate me. People don't like it. People, are you supposed to only be funny? Well, today, fuck it. We are in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is such a beautiful place. We have amazing places to be in the summertime, in the wintertime, good places to eat. We have fun and activities for children. I am standing literally right here in front of a public library with a school on the next block. At what point in time do we get fucking tired of seeing children shot? seeing women and men and boys and kids shot. At what point do we be like, enough is a fucking enough? How do we prevent this? How do we stop this? And I think it starts in the community. We can all preach and holler, oh, we need to do this and they need to do this, but we have to get involved. We have to figure shit out. This is my second shooting I've been to in less than a week. It gets tiring. It gets draining. A lot of these families are expecting their loved ones to come home and they get that call, or they've been shot, or they've been killed. At what fucking point do we be like, we got to do something, y'all? Everybody, I don't give a fuck. We are worrying about a war in other countries when we having a war in our cities, in our states, in our neighborhoods, on our streets. At what point do we be like, fuck? I get tired of it. I like to make people laugh, but some things I have to speak on because it's very visible. And it's making all of us look fucking bad. But we gotta help each other out. I love each and every one of y'all. I don't give a fuck if you black, white, Chinese, Mexican. I don't care about none of that. We are all people that live in the same neighborhoods. Our kids go to the same schools. We have to love each other, and we have to make sure we feel safe and comfortable. Man, Cincinnati, I love y'all. It's a beautiful place, but we gotta figure some shit out. We can only play the blame game so much, y'all. I love every one of y'all. If y'all take this comment or this message the wrong way, I still love you, and I'm praying for you and your family. God bless y'all. Hood News 75, we out.
I did not preview that one before I put it up there, but goddamn, that's a perfect segue.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
With your background as a cop, and then our combined background as the fire service, it's like people want to fucking rag all the time on cops, and it's like, well, hang on, one cop is a shitlord. That's not doesn't mean the rest.
Yeah, and I don't want to be the "I told you so" guy to people listening, but a while ago, if you remember, back when we were doing the COVID era podcast.
Oh God!
And I said, and we were going through the whole Ferguson thing and all that stuff, and I said, you're going to see a mass exodus of good cops. Nobody wants to do this job anymore. The only people that are going to be left are the people that they've lowered the standards for and have no business wearing a badge and a gun. So you have, and don't get me wrong, I don't mean to paint with such a broad stroke here, but you do have shitbags out there that have weaseled their way in and are walking a beat that have no business being out there. But then you also have this society and cultural problem going on with everybody. And it's just the perfect storm, man. It's going to get worse before it gets better. There's not a doubt in my mind.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even on the fire side, I left the fire service when I did for a multitude of reasons. And one of them was being told by people who have no medical experience that I was wrong when I was involved in multiple case studies across the Cincinnati area for different things. It was fucking wild to me. And the thought of having genuine conversations with my doctors about what the best path forward for me and my family was, and then just simply having a conversation with somebody on the street and saying, well, this is what my doctor said. Well, your doctor's a fucking idiot. Dude, you took basket weaving 101.
Yeah, right? Underwater basket weaving. You know what I mean? People nowadays running around with degrees like that shit's a badge. Like, yeah, stop. I have a bachelor's. What? Freeze! I have a master's. Shit out of here. Fucking stupid.
To kind of pile onto that thought, right? I had this conversation with the 20-something-year-old that was on my team because I started taking C++ programming classes. They're free through Cisco. The certification is what you pay for, and it's the test. So if I go to test out, I got to spend $90 to get the certification to say I know how to do this. He is going through some $20,000 a year job, or I'm sorry, some $20,000 a year college to do the exact same thing I'm doing for free. And he didn't even know when I explained to him, no, you're paying for the services of the college. And when they give you your voucher to go take the same test I'm taking, you're just simply not spending $90 in that moment. You already spent it. I think one of the things that we can speak on, like you were saying, is the shitlords that are worming their way into the public service field, right?
Oh, yeah.
God, they're fucking all over. Didn't used to be.
Like no, and I feel like every year it's just you think you've reached the pinnacle of shitbagness, and then the next year comes and surprises you, and you're like, God bless, man. Who the hell gave you your cards? You know what I mean?
Well, to preface this, me and Shawn are both born and raised Cincinnati, right? So that is
Mhm.
our zone of experience and knowledge, if you want to say that. Shawn can go down a whole diatribe of how he tried to get away from Cincinnati and he fucked up and put Wright Patton on his wish list. And just ended. Shawn got to go see the world. It was just an hour and a half up the road.
Not even 45 minutes. Such bullshit.
Well, in all fairness,
10 years.
Oh, I touched a sore spot.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I did. I deployed to Iraq in 2006, and I was in Afghanistan in 2009. So yeah, a little bit of travel world.
When I came through the fire service, one of the first things they flat out told us, you are going to have a hell of a time getting a job, because they weed out the shitbags very easily. I remember going and testing for Forest Park back in like 2010, 2011, somewhere in that time frame. We had guys coming all the way from Chicago for 2 available positions. I made it past the agility. I've never had issues physically. Where it comes to me is not knowing when to shut the fuck up. So, I shit you not, I go to the interview for Forest Park. I sit down. The first question that gets asked, are you rehireable at every previous position that you've ever held? Well, I've had a job since I was 13, 12, but the government don't need to know about that. And I don't know anybody in a common sense manner with logical thought process that can say, oh yeah, that job I held at Wendy's back when I was like 15, I'm pretty sure if I walked in there right now, they'd rehire me. They don't even know who the fuck I am.
Right.
So my response was, I wouldn't believe so, but I'm unsure. Which then, I kid you not, the assistant chief puts down my packet. I'm sitting there in front of a full panel, and he goes, well, I have over 200 applicants for 2 positions. I can't bring somebody on that's not rehireable at every position that he's ever held. You have a nice day. I literally got asked.
Wait.
Yeah, I was flabbergasted. I didn't even know what to say looking at these people. And I just was like, okay, so I'm out of the process? And they're like, yep. And I just got up and walked out of the room. Let's fast forward.
Yep.
Cincinnati Fire Department, the pinnacle of where every firefighter in Cincinnati wants to be. Now, from what I've been told by guys still in the service, do you have a heartbeat? You're good. We'll train you. We'll do everything you need to know. Come over. Now, this is obviously hyperbole in the sense that there were a lot of steps in between. Like, going to, well, we'll take you if you're a paramedic from another department already in the union. We'll take you if you're an EMT from another department in the union. We'll take a firefighter that just exists and has his cards. You have a heartbeat, we'll train you. And when you open doors like that, you're gonna get fucking shitlords walking in.
It was you're absolutely right. When I finished my tenure with the Air Force and ultimately got conned into going to the fire service,
I did not.
Douche. We call this the slow burn.
I am really, really good at the slow burns.
It's very, very good. I was living in Dayton at the time. I bought a house after I got out of Wright Pat and stayed up here. And I went to the academy in Cincinnati. I went to Great Oaks, and I even had a shoe in with Mason afterwards. And this is, keep in mind, this is all part-time, and this is back in 2016. And even with Mason coming in and doing direct hires out of the academy, for part-time, the process was over a year long. At that time, I was, 30 years old, had bills to pay. Couldn't wait a year for a part-time process. So I ended up shotgunning my resume at every single agency between Cincinnati and Dayton, quite literally every single one of them. It took months to get a call back, and I finally ended up with Xenia, and that was all for part-time. That wasn't even a full-time gig, and I see these kids walking out of high school literally with a pulse, getting their medics paid for and getting into a full-time job. And I waited, oh goodness, almost 6 years before I finally got my full-time job with the government. So, it's these kids are, they're walking into the world handed to them on a platter, and they have no appreciation for it. It's like it's owed to them, and it just baffles me.
Well, and I'll even do you one better, right? Ironically, I'm in the same boat that you were. I spent 6 years before I got my first full-time position, and I finally landed with Woodlawn. But then that was very short-lived. But when I separated from them and went and sought another full-time employment, I was baffled that simply I just put in an application, and all of a sudden I had a full-time spot somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like the entire landscape changed from the time I got out of the academy to the time where I was seeking like a second full-time spot. The shitlords are going to seep in when you start lowering standards. Also, too, if the department finds itself at the whim and will of individuals because they are short-staffed, all of a sudden you will find the shitlords progress up the ranks a lot faster because they will use that to their advantage, whereas people that have honor and integrity don't. I've heard of many of cases of guys saying, well, if you don't promote me up, I quit, and good luck filling my spot. Wow.
Yeah.
You think yourself so fucking high and mighty. For the firefighters out there, this individual that I'm speaking of directly about is also the same shitlord who stretched a dry hand line to the second floor of an actively burning building because he didn't want the extra weight when he was dragging the hose. That's what I mean by when shitlords seep through the cracks and they have a way of getting the way in there. But the caveat to this is you need the good guys, like the good cops, the good firefighters that have an avenue to get rid of those people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you said it once, in regards to bad cops. Same thing with bad firefighters. The good guys, the good cops, the good firefighters that are showing up every day and just doing the job and doing it to the best of their ability and bending over backwards to help their communities, they don't want those shitlords there either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how do you solve that? How do you solve for X? And there's no good answer to it. There's not. And it all starts with stop treating public service like a diploma mill. Stop. Just you showed up. You have a pulse. Congratulations. Here's your certificate to go out and potentially take someone's life, both in law enforcement or even on the fire and EMS side. I don't think people realize that. Of course, I think people realize, on the law enforcement side, if you have a bad shoot or you hurt somebody, you're going to jail. And I think a lot of people fail to realize that the same as on the EMS side. You give the wrong drug, you're not paying attention, your ass is going to jail. Oh, yeah. That's murder.
There was a moment where I went to the range in Cincinnati. This was before Point Blank existed. So at that point in time, it was Target World. That's where everybody went. Mm-hmm. And I remember walking in there and just like bebopping around, like I'm just here to shoot my gun and have some fun. And the kid in front of me is like, I'm gonna become a cop. And it's your typical high school kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his dad's there with him, supporting him, this, that, the other. And then the range master asked him, do you need any targets? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, which target do you want? And I shit you not, this kid goes, well, give me the one that looks like a person because that's what I'll be shooting at. No. Already right now, You are incorrect. You do not belong anywhere near a fucking badge.
No.
That is the wrong fucking mentality to have.
No. That's the broader picture of what's wrong on a micro scale. That's everything in a statement right there.
To be clear, and this is something too that I did not understand until I started seeking full-time employment outside of the Ohio area. Cincinnati is proprietary academy. And what I found out, so what I mean by that, we have the Oaks system, which I don't even know if the Fire Academy is still at the Oaks. I have not looked that
Yeah,
up. Is it? Okay.
there's
So one of the great things that Cincinnati has done is we have the trade schools, the Oaks system. You know, there's Great Oaks, Scarlet Oaks, Live Oaks, maybe.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. And what the trade schools are is it basically for the high schooler, and I hope this part reaches high schoolers that need to hear this. College is not meant for everybody, right? And in Cincinnati, you have a great opportunity to, as part of your high school requirements to get your diploma, go to one of the Oaks and learn a trade, such as HVAC, auto mechanic, auto repair, body shop, framing, construction, you name it. There's a trade for it at one of the Oaks. One of the trades, like two of, is police academy and fire academy. As a high schooler, you can go learn to become a police officer or a firefighter, earn your high school credits, and graduate with a diploma. But you will also exit your high school career ready to go work in those trade fields. Now, what the Oaks did is they extended that to adult education. So what I mean by proprietary is it got treated like college. I went and paid, I don't want to misspeak, I think it was $5,000 for full-time fire academy. I went
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, basically I paid, it was a paid college, right? I went and paid, I went through fire 1 and 2, EMT basic, and every single rescue technician certification you could possibly think of.
Oh yeah, just about all of them.
Now, herein lies the problem with that mentality is success rate. You have to have a certain amount of success rate in order to continue that program. So what we were finding was that there were individuals that were passed, and either they failed.
Mm-hmm.
An individual could go through and do the hands-on testing and not quite get it right, but the instructors were told, give them more time, give them extra hands to help them complete the task because they have to pass this class to meet the percentage. Because it's a money game. If they don't have the necessary percentage to pass, then they no longer can continue on and keep bringing in profits.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're talking about individuals that have no business being on a fire ground or no business being behind a badge, but they have it. To give perspective, though, I applied somewhere in North Carolina and found out that the way we do things in Cincinnati is not the way the rest of the country does it. In North Carolina, you have to get the job first, and then you go through the academy. The academy is put on by the department itself. And then all of a sudden, I started seeing holes. Like, well, okay, the department's not going to make money off of me going, okay, follow the money. Okay. I think the overall arching theme I kind of want to get across in this episode is, hey, we get it. There's bad firefighters, there's bad cops, there's bad public servants, and we want them out just as much as the next person. Because, and I used to say this all the time, you know, to the guys that started acting like shitlords, don't drag me down with you. You want to do stupid shit, go do it over there in that corner. Don't associate my name with it.
Correct.
And the second you get busted doing something stupid and they come and ask me, guess what? I ain't defending you. In fact, I'm going to tell them everything you fucking did and everything you said.
Yeah, that's there ain't nobody worth me losing my integrity over. You know what I mean? Or vice versa, taking food out of my family's mouth or the roof over the head just to cover your bullshit. It's not happening.
I mean, a case in point, there's a reason why I am A, no longer in the fire service, and B, why I left Woodlawn Fire when I left it.
Mm-hmm.
And what's
Yeah, thank God.
Which
Cool. Yeah,
they've been making some headlines. That's not good.
man. You know, it's almost like a gamble when I log into social media to see who's getting lambasted today. Is it Cincinnati Police or is it Woodlawn Fire? But there's really no in between. It's literally just those two places in Cincinnati. They're just getting seemingly rocked every other day. It's wild.
I mean, and a lot of the stuff that's being now said out loud was things that I addressed in private and asked that needed to be on the right side of wrong. Because and I don't even know if that's the right way to
Mhm.
phrase that, but basically, I remember being there and calling this shit out and saying, "Hey, somebody better quit because it's not going to go well."
Mm-hmm.
And also, leave my name the fuck out of this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because it's going to get ugly at some point.
Yeah.
It's not if, it's when.
Yeah. To be honest, I am surprised it has gone on this long.
Yeah, without any repercussion. Yeah,
But also,
honestly.
and I will say this, as far as Woodlawn is concerned, right? And I speak openly about my history of Woodlawn. When I first applied for Woodlawn, it was me and another guy. We were qualified for the part-time positions that were open, and we were flat out told no because we were not the right skin color. The individual told the chief at that time, who was not the current chief, go back and find me somebody with the same qualifications that matches the skin color of this community. We got a phone call literally 2 months later that said, hey, the mayor finally relented and said, okay, fine, hire these two. And we were brought on. So that kind of paints you a picture of the shit that goes on in Woodlawn.
And that's kind of a major symptom of what's going on. You're picking and choosing and trying to force people that don't want to do it to go risk their lives when you have two people who said, yep, here's a blank check. You name it and I'll go do it. Yeah, it's a symptom. This is all a symptom of the bigger problem. And it honestly starts with the accreditation and going from there.
I will never forget one of the guys that came through when I was still at Woodlawn. He's a big fat fuck. And he just had this chip on his shoulder, thought he was the funniest fucking dude in the room, no matter how much he belittled everybody. And Shawn can attest to this. I had a reputation of making grown men cry. I prided myself on that. And I remember...
This is true. I can confirm that I received calls. almost like fucking Thanos collecting goddamn stones. I collected these tears today.
Go sit in timeout. What? We're in the middle of an active fire. I don't give a fuck. Go sit on the goddamn bumper. Pissed me off.
Oh yeah, this is true. This is all factual statements, by the way, folks.
But I will never forget this big fat fuck. He came through and he berated one of my partners and even was like saying inappropriate shit about his wife while he was on the phone with his daughters. It got back around to me. I went the fuck off on him. After I was done, I went off on him. And I, kind of walked it back. I had a little conversation with him. I was like, hey man, like you find yourself in a very different climate right now. If this was 5 years ago and Chief came to me and said, hey, we're hiring this guy, I would have said, he's fat as fuck. No, get him the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but that's not the climate we're in. So be grateful you have a job. Keep your mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
Show up every day. Listen when you're being talked to, which does not require you to say another fucking word. Soak in all the trainings you can soak in. And then when it's time to go to Jobtown, show the fuck up and have my back. Past that, keep your mouth shut, and it will go a long fucking way. And then, when you've been here a little bit, then talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
That dude survived it for all 3 months.
I mean, it's, that was, I think, one of the more valuable lessons. I actually give Dave credit for that one. When the little bit of time that I did have there, he did teach me that valuable lesson. No matter where you go, whether you've been in the job for 20 years or 5 minutes, you're the new guy. I don't care if you actually know what they're talking about. You sit there and soak it up because they might teach you something that you don't already know. That, and aside from truck checks, asking where shit is on scene is not the time to be asking where it's at.
When them bells go off,
I think that's
time to say I don't know or nobody showed me.
There it is. That's it. Man, I was a very, very, very short time at Woodlawn, but I did receive those words of wisdom, and honest to God, that has stuck with me for my career. I think, gosh, yeah, when I started at the VA, I already had almost almost 7 years, and you could have said I was right out of the academy. I didn't say anything about, well, here we do it this way or do it that way. Shut up and soak it up.
Yeah.
Do the dishes. That when they told me that, my first few months are going to be on the squad, Okay. Yeah, I'll pay my dues. I'll pay my dues. That's what I'm going to do. And I ain't going to bitch about it. And as long as you give me a nicotine break, I'm going to be completely fine. But because after like, oh gosh, the one day I think we had 17 runs. I was like, hey, listen, man, if I don't get a cigarette break, I'm going to start fighting patients here.
And we've all
So,
been,
you know,
dude, we've all
it's,
been there. I've been.
yes.
I remember, and to this day, Lenny. He was a captain at Woodlawn. He's now chief, I think, Indian Hills somewhere. I don't remember. I was so fucking exhausted.
Is he a chief now?
I think I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. But
Oh, wow.
I remember being so fucking tired. My dick got punched in the dirt for fucking just 22 hours straight being on the medic. We get called to a nursing home for an elderly woman just being beyond herself. Like, she just was not having it. Little old black lady. Any other circumstance, I would have had the time of my life with her, right? But I'm so fucking tired. I'm so beside myself. I'm just done. I haven't even seen any bit of nicotine or caffeine. And I will never forget, I go up to this woman, the nursing staff at the nursing home, they're fighting with her. And I just kind of put my hand on her back and just say, hey, why don't we sit down in the chair? Why don't you just come with us? And she turned around and just immediately went to chomp on my arm. And my knee-jerk reaction was I put her and grabbed both of her arms on the counter and said, if you bite me, that'll be the last thing you do. Inappropriate. Should not have come out of my fucking mouth. But she was so beside herself, she didn't even hear it. And to this day, Lenny will tell you, Clint Eastwood came out that night. Well, if you bite me, that'll be the last thing you do. Fuck you. But
I mean, I think so. I think that that's one of the things especially in this podcast we can relate to is these these little funny moments that kind of tie into the stories because you told your story and I remember you telling me about that and it immediately jogged my memory of oh man, I was talking to my chief when I was at Xenia Township and I told him I said my bedside manner disappears after midnight. it's not there anymore. And of course, spared details because of HIPAA and all that good stuff. We had a call in our district. The person that lived there had a real bad booze problem. Was not a very good person and was known to be pretty belligerent. Well, this time he taken a fall and hurt himself, and he needed to be checked out. But he'd been drinking, and he wasn't having it. Like, hey, man, again, on HIPAA, you have some pretty obvious injuries. We need to get you over there. I wish you fucking would. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. It's like 1 a.m. And I said, hey, man, listen, I need you to get on the cot. Yeah, you're going to put me on that cot? If you don't shut the fuck up and get on that cot, I'm going to put you on that cot. It just so happened, and I hadn't put on lieutenant more than, oh gosh, couldn't have been a month ago. And the other shift lieutenant from the other house is standing there, and he hears me say, if you don't get on that cot, I'm going to put you on that cot. And he's a pretty calm dude. He said, oh, you motherfucking up. But one of the part-timers that was working my shift, who happens to be a full-timer somewhere else, who he goons, like not the way the word means nowadays, but he moons out, goons out, put it that way. He drip cutted me. He sent him to Sleepy Town. But these are these are the stories I know the people that are listening to. They can relate to these type of things and how they tie into the bigger picture. When you do have that unit cohesion, everybody knows their role, what they're doing, they're competent. Yeah, that could have easily gone south. I let my bulldog mouth probably override my puppy dog ass on that one, especially being a fresh lieutenant. But I was lucky enough to have fully competent guys from 2 houses on this call that followed my lead, backed me up, stayed within the lanes, and got it done. You know what I mean? But nowadays, I don't know that we have that anymore. You know?
Yeah, that implies a problem because, and this is something I struggled with as I was exiting the fire service, and which Shawn knows how my exit from the fire service went, and I'm not going to delve into that, right, how I exited the fire service. Let's just say it wasn't pretty. We speak of proprietary things, and let's just say that at the end of my tenure in the fire service, I found myself at a proprietary department. We speak of brotherhood when it comes to this stuff. When I came in, there wasn't anything that I would or would not do that was morally correct, with holding honest and integrity to the forefront, that I would do for one of the brotherhood, right? And the brotherhood morphed by the time I got out, that it was feeling more and more, it doesn't matter if he's a shitlord, we got to protect him. And I don't play that. And when you start getting into that divisive, lineage, you start drawing those kind of lines in the sands. You're going to have a certain demographic that steps to this side and a certain demographic that steps to this side, and then a certain demographic that's okay bouncing back and forth. And that's, not everyone's on the same page. And you end up with guys that are just trying to do the right thing, and guys that are trying to placate both sides, and then guys that are okay doing the morally reprehensible thing. And that's not going to work well on any scene. I don't care who you are. We used to call them freelancers. Is that still a thing?
Sure is.
And for those that don't know, freelancers on the fire scene were basically guys that kind of went off and did their own thing. I would equate that to, in this day and age, guys that are freelancers in and out of the firehouse, and that aren't playing well with others. They're not talking to man. They're out for their own. Because at the end of the day, they want to do this. They want to beat their chest, put a sticker on the back of their truck that says, I'm in the union, and everybody, when I get out of my truck in the parking lot to walk into Kroger to get my groceries, should salute me and say, thank you for my service. And that's not what the fucking brotherhood was, or ever.
Yeah. And when you're sitting there saying all that, I'm thinking to myself, well, what's a tangible way that I can explain the current state of affairs? And it dawned on me, for at least public service, and the Unpaid Overtime podcast premiere episode, there are tangible ways to illustrate what we're talking about. And what I mean is, and I don't know if I'll do it on this episode, maybe the next one, or maybe we'll record it at the end as a little bit of a bonus content. But
go for it, because this one's winding.
There's several. In fact, I'll start to pull that up while I'm BSing here, because there's one I just saw not too long ago. Let's see if I can pull that up. There's several places on YouTube that offer, pretty much uncut what's going on in the moment, and there's nothing more prevalent than, as I mentioned before, law enforcement. I can still speak semi-effectively about that. All right, so the video that I'm pulling up here, I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah.
And for those that are about to watch, graphic warning, that you don't really see anything, but it is, I guess I got to put that disclaimer out so nobody gets upset about it. So.
But at the same time, too, it's on YouTube. So.
Let me know if this starts.
Hey, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you for asking.
Thank you, sir. Do you have your insurance and registration with you?
Right here.
Where are you coming from, my man?
The hospital. I just left my girl and her mother and grandmother there.
Okay. From Sutter or Kaiser?
Yes, sir.
From where?
Kaiser.
Kaiser. Okay.
That's Kaiser right down the street.
Yeah. Where you headed to now, man?
I'm going home. Back to Tracy, champ.
Back to Tracy?
Yes, sir.
You got insurance, man?
Yes, sir. I do. I don't have the card with me, though. But
You got like a picture of it on your phone or something like that?
No, I do not.
You don't?
We're going to fast forward here just a
You see
little
the
bit.
Tracy?
I stay my.
Just face your card.
Yes, sir.
Interlace your fingers on the back of your head for me.
Yes, sir.
There you go. And then I'm going to have you walk back to the trunk for me, okay?
Just slide over this way.
Yeah, just slide this way. That's all.
Not in the doorway.
That's all.
So before we, because this is going to take off like a cannonball, we have one male officer, 2 other female officers, and that's your context here. This is turning into, for those that don't understand law enforcement, this is basically turning into a high risk stop. That's why he's in the position he's in.
Keep going a little bit. Keep going a little bit. perfect, man. Widen your stance a little bit for me. You're a little taller than me. Yeah. Appreciate it.
There's nothing on me at all.
All right, man. So you're just trying to go to Tracy, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll get you out of here, man. I'll get you out of here. Personally, I'm not trying to harass people. I'm not trying to go through your shit. Nothing like that, man. Okay? It's not what I'm in the business of. Okay? Okay. Just relax. I have a seat in my car right there. Okay? Or on my car right there, just where the lights are on at. Okay.
I'll stand with her.
You said just the jar, right?
Just the jar.
Okay.
No?
Let me see that. Turn around.
So anybody that even has a basic understanding of law enforcement or how a traffic stop works should know that this is what they call a SBR. It's a short barrel rifle. So basically, it's a mini AR-15. Like we're not the collapsible stock. It's basically a pistol.
So to clarify, because I actually do have some experience with this. All right. So your AR-15 rifle, for those that don't know, which I'm speaking to you right now, all right, is your typical rifle length that you would think of, but they have made AR-15 in smaller caliber at a shorter stock and shorter length that only qualifies as a pistol size. Did I do that justice for the people that don't know?
Yes, I'd say so. But what you're saying, this is already fucked up.
Yeah.
They found it. Oh yeah, I found a weapon, and this guy's not supposed to have a weapon. Holy shit, there's a magazine in it. If there's a magazine in it, I'm willing to bet there's probably a round in it. He puts it right back in the car. Doesn't take the round out of it, doesn't do anything. We'll go from there.
Okay. Z4, get away from pursuit.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Grab him on the ground.
Stop it. Get on the ground. Country cover. Country cover. Get your taser out. Get on the ground.
Get your taser. Get your taser.
No. Get on the ground.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm already going to guess that he made it back to his car.
Mm-hmm. We're right there. It's going to happen.
Z4, shots fired! Shots fired! Get on the fucking ground! Get on the ground!
This is what I'm talking about. This is for lack of a better expression, this is what happens when you have people who have no business being out there. These people are supposed to be protecting you, and that man's life probably wouldn't have ended if there was competent people out there. It's my brother, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay to notice that this is a self-contained incident where, unfortunately, that gentleman lost his life. Not unfortunately, he kind of brought it himself, shouldn't have run back to his car. It's not what I mean by, I'm not excusing his behavior. But we sure as hell could have not put everybody at risk by seeing an AR or an SBR and going, well, I better go make an arrest, and doing nothing with it. Leaving the car door open and leaving a fully accessible, high-volume rifle within reach could have got you and all your partners killed in one night. These are the people that are out patrolling.
Yeah. And
this is it.
One mistake snowballs into the next, right? And it's not
100%.
putting sole blame on the officer. And it's not putting, well, okay, I'm not going to say that. It's not putting sole blame on the officer, but also the suspect did what he did. But when
yes, he did.
You are an officer of the law and you are a firefighter paramedic, you are expected to take the extra steps to ensure the safety and survival rate of all of those around you, whether or not their mentality is negative or positive, right? So if he would have assumed that this suspect had ill intent no matter what the case would have been, the second he saw that, take the mag out, eject any rounds, clear the weapon, don't let go of the weapon, and then continue on with the arrest.
Nobody would have died. Nobody would have been in danger.
It's easy to Monday night quarterback this stuff, and I will say that out loud because I know I have made mistakes in the field.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right?
Oh, God. I am 100%. I have made so many mistakes.
Those listening don't think, oh, well, like, you're one side or the... No, like, I'm neutral because I acknowledge that I have made mistakes myself that could have cost somebody's life. There are multiple things that I could have done that I ended up on the 5 o'clock fucking... And by the good graces, I didn't. And I admit that. It comes down to training and being in the moment when it's happening and being able to take a breath, slow down, and process the information that's being put in. Which is something in this day and age that I struggle because I recognize it as a father that I'm trying to teach Xander as an 8-year-old. You got to be prepped for this. You have so much information coming at you all the time. And it's okay to take a breath and say, I'm good. Let me step back, process what you said, and then respond. The knee-jerk responses are where we start getting ourselves into trouble.
For sure. Again, I don't say this to critique that officer or any of those officers out there. Obviously, they made the right call and everybody went home. But at the same time, I see, and this is, again, another symptom. I've seen at least probably a dozen videos in the past week of people who are specifically placed because that's what you're supposed to do, running away from the threat. And it's I can find it again down the road. I'll play it. But I watched one video where the female cop got punched in the chest and she threw her gun and ran away.
Jesus Christ.
When shit goes south at your house in the middle of the night, sometimes these are the people showing up because we've run off people who legitimately wanted to do this job.
So
The symptom.
I
Not everybody. Again, not a broad stroke.
Yeah. Like we're speaking in broad strokes, but we're not applying it to the populace, right? What
Correct.
I will say,
Correct.
if you are coming in to any kind of public service field, the best piece of advice I can give you in this current climate that we are in, if you are looking for self-recognition, or maybe, no, not self-recognition, if you are looking to beat your chest and you are looking to hunt down trophies and to get your name in a newspaper or a headline or go viral on some kind of social media, I'm going to stop you right there. You're wrong. Being in the public service is not about trophy hunting. It's not about putting your name on the incident that happened and getting to beat your chest. It's about being humble, showing up, doing a job, helping your community, and then silently falling back in line. And if you can't handle that, you don't need to be in the public service sector.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more. I don't want to be on the 5 o'clock news. I don't want any of that shit.
No, that video that we just played, we just listened to, right? What I heard was a wheel click in that officer's brain that said, oh shit, this is a good arrest because of X, Y, and Z. I get to do this and I get this recognition. And he skipped a couple steps that could have prevented a lot of nonsense. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened, obviously. I'm not that dude. I don't know.
Right.
But slowing down, and you have to take yourself out of the equation, and you are just there to help, whatever that looks like.
Exactly. And odds are, if what we're talking about tonight has pissed you off, there's a distinct possibility you might be one of those people.
And you know what, and this is something too I thought about today too, when I was kind of like thinking like, how are we gonna do this? If this episode offended you, I originally wanted to tell you, well, this isn't for you. But I'm gonna go back on that. If this episode offended you, I think you need to show up more. I think you need to learn to sit with uncomfortable thoughts, sit with uncomfortable opinions, and learn how to agree to disagree. Because not everybody has the same opinion you do. We don't all live in an echo chamber. Like, I know that's what 5% of the population likes to live in which the 5% of the population that likes to live in that echo chamber is the one with the megaphone right now. But I'm speaking to the 95% of the population that doesn't give a fuck about the other 5%. Like, we show up to the polls and we vote for the best candidate, and then we move on with our fucking lives because we have families and jobs. So if I offended you tonight, or Shawn offended you tonight, I actually implore you to leave a comment. But I'm also going to set this rule: if you want to argue with me, come at me with facts. Cite sources. I will gladly read them, and I'm willing to form new opinions based on the sources you cite. But if you can't do that, then don't fucking argue with me.
I agree. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. Sitting in the uncomfortable part, I implore people to do that. Both do that in your professional world, do that in your home life. And that's something we're probably going to really get into somewhere down the lines when we talk about mental health and such. No one's exempt from this. I'm actually going through it right now, sitting with the uncomfortable part and learning that I am not the bee's knees, at least on the relationship aspect. It sucks. It can be uncomfortable, but I promise if you do this in your professional world, you do this in your professional life, your romantic life, your family life, man, great things come from this, to be completely honest with you. And my only regret is I haven't done this sooner,
I've always been a big proponent, and Shawn has heard this out of my mouth in the very short time that he got to train with me at Woodlawn. It'd be a very hot day outside, and guys would be like, I don't want to train. And to quote a Samuel L. Jackson line, can't even remember what military movie it was, what we have here is a training opportunity. Get your asses out there and fucking train.
Yep.
I don't care.
Yep.
It's hot.
Oh, yeah.
Great. This is a great opportunity to go sweat your fucking asses off. Let's get out here and train.
Absolutely.
With that, I look forward to continuing this podcast. I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm completely down for comments. I want the engagement because I want the conversation, right? And I will address any sites sorted in the comments. Bring me your information. Talk to me. Talk to us. We will talk about it, all right? I think the next episode, you guys might have saw it in the little screen share. I had pulled up Iran, BRICS nation, and we talked briefly about a brief history of Palestine.
Oh boy.
Because in this day and age too, we're also fighting AI generated clickbait, right? In which the AI,
Oh man, it's out of control. God.
and it's rewriting our history, and we're fucking allowing it.
Although to be fair, I think when AI is being used appropriately, such as the video I watched the other day of Macho Man Randy Savage and Mr. Rogers in a WWE match, that's the appropriate use of AI. I think whoever posted that video on TikTok, I want you to know, if you're listening out there, you probably got at least 500 views just from me. Just from me.
But and I want to revisit some stuff that caused the current state, because even now tonight, like I was sitting here googling Alex Preddy.
So much misinformation.
Yes, and I want to go down those routes.
So much.
I think that's where we end this episode, and I think it's been a good time. I look forward to hearing from everybody, and we'll just keep charging forward.
Absolutely. Until the next time.
Living the dream. We've seen the chaos, the quiet nights too. Laugh through the hard stuff like firefighters do. Coffee tastes burnt, the stories grow tall. No script, no filter.
Sorry, Shawn just changed his background.
I feel like I'm in the Matrix.
Does that one computer back there bug hunt? I definitely thought that said bug horny, and I was about to be really confused.
Don't kink shame me, first of all.